Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I know this week was gonna be just only for Vanguard, but I figured this weekend would be might as well be YGO as well. So tonight I'm giving you guys two new deck profile videos. One is an upgraded form of Lyrilusc, or Lyrilusc, if you want to go that technical about it. This is gonna be a full pure build deck, and this is gonna be my own personal design and my own way of recipes. So I'm actually pretty excited to try to display this for you guys tonight. I finally got all the support because originally I was gonna do this without the new spell card from Brothers of Legend, which I was just like, okay, let me just wait and see what's going on with this card, and then I'm like, I gotta have it. So I can't wait to show it to you guys. I really am looking forward to it. This is my own personal build, like I said, and I hope you guys enjoy this video very much so. So, with that being said, let's get on with the video, and of course, this is inspired by a character deck profile for LuLu Obsedian from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. So, with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So, for monsters, of course, there's a place to have almost everything. So I play 3 copies of Lyrilusc Turquoise Warbler. Warbler to me is a very unique card, but it's also it's a very tricky card to go with. Reason why I say that is because her skill is, if you control no monsters on your side of the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. However, and also, as an added bonus, you can special summon one Wing Beast type monster card from your hand. So this will help you get off like Swallow, Sparrow, Celestine, or Canary. Well, Canary has a different effect too, so just those cards in general, and they'll activate some numerous effects. So as long as you like, you may want to cut down. I may want to cut down this like between one more, like leave it at 2, just in case. But I think 3 is an essential, just because you can still use the effect as a material for overlaying, which that's what the deck is pretty much made of, is Exceed summoning. So I keep it at 3 at the moment, until I get more support, but that's just unlikely. 3 copies of the new one, Lyrilusc, Beryl Canary. Beryl Canary I began to love very much. I favor it overall. Her skill is, so you can target one lyrical monster in your graveyard, and you can special summon this card from your hand along with that other monster from your graveyard. And then that's when I'll summon the field's bound, which, much like Harpie ladies, Lyricals have an ability to swarm the field like crazy. So I think that's a pretty much good option right there. And then also, when this monster has been used for a material, the Exceed monster that is used for it gains 200 attack points. So that's a nice little bonus to it, especially when Nightingale had an ability to gain 200 attack for every material that it currently has with it. So I think that's pretty much awesome right there. Next, of course, we're playing 3 copies of Sapphire Swallow, and Sapphire Swallow is definitely an essential type of card, which is basically about, so you can reveal her from your hand and then reveal another Wing Beast monster, level 1 Wing Beast, I assume, or yeah, Wing Beast type monster, level 1, yeah, because all of them are level 1 monsters, which I know is the weakest deck, but it's a fun deck for me. And for some people, it may be a little bit meta, semi-meta, but I'm not 100% sure. The meta has constantly changed a lot over the years, so I can't hold it to it. Anyways, Swallow's skill is, you can reveal this card to your hand along with another, reveal this card and another Wing Beast monster in your hand, and special both of them to your field. And as also, of course, when it's used for an Exceed material, you can turn one lyrical monster in your graveyard and immediately attach it to that monster. So, to me, that's just one more overlaid units it has, the more power it will get, and also multiple attacks. Next, we're playing the classic Cobalt Sparrow, which is also one of the almost the very first. So, Warbler, Swallow, and Sparrow are literally the first 3 lyrical monsters shown in TCG, and I've been loving the card ever since. Just with that kind of small engine, you have to incorporate it with like wind witches or harpy ladies. I made lyrical harpies at one time, lyrical witches, just small things, and now they have more support and more cards. I think it's just best to give them their full pure barreled, pure blood status as a pure deck for me for lyricals. And what Cobalt Sparrow does is a very good card for me personally. When she is special summoned, special summoned to the field, you can add one level 1 Wing Beast type monster from your deck to your hand. And also when it's been used for a material, that XE monster cannot be destroyed by card, or cannot be targeted with card effects. So my opponent cannot target it with any card effects. So now I need to find a way to get rid of the idea of making it more invincible by making it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So your opponent will have no choice but to send that card to the ground, which I won't put it past anymore. Next, for the last monster we have, of course, we're playing 15. I know you're all going to say, what? 15? Why so little? That's just me. You know, I always go by archetype builds and character deck profile builds and anything like that. So I'm, of course, playing 15 monsters, and the rest is just spells and traps, which I think is not going to be a bad problem. You know the old saying, right? Birds together, flop together, or I don't know. It's an internet terminology. But anyways, the last 3 copies we have is the new one, Celestine Wagtail. So Celestine Wagtail has a unique skill. She, of course, when she's special summoned to the field, you can add 1 lyrical spell and trap card from your deck to your hand. Also, when it's as long as it's in the graveyard, you can select one of your XE monsters that has lyrical in the name, and it attaches this card to it. So it gives it automatically a free attached material. So if you have Nightingale in the field, it'll give it more 200 power, and another chance to attack your opponent directly, seeing as though Nightingale has a nice little twist. Not twit. Almost a twat. Shit. You guys know I've worked very hard today because I worked a lot. I worked today. And lately I've been working kind of a lot, and so I feel like I just have no more social life. And yes, I'm using the IP Masquerena sleeves because I just love the artwork and I love that bike. God damn, give me a fucking bike. Okay, so now for spell cards, we're using a total of, I believe, 13 spell cards in this deck. Yeah, so 13. So let's get on with it. So for lyrical variants, we're playing 3 bird calls, and bird call to me is a good 3 of, because even though it's that one even though you can play once per turn, you can still send a lyrical from your deck to your graveyard or add a card to your hand. And for the rest of the time, you cannot. Oh, it doesn't have that restriction. Okay, never mind. Wait a minute. Guys, I really did make a big faux pas about this card. Oh my god. Okay, so apparently, here's what happened, if I can focus this correctly. So apparently, I read the fact is, take 1 lyrical monster from your deck and either add to your hand or send it to the grave. Of course, now my dumbass forgot to read this part. Then you can special summon 1 lyrical monster from a different name from your hand. Okay, so I definitely do need to read that card better, or this card better. All I know is it is an essential card to have, because it will help you with your graveyard problem, add to your hand. But I need to start learning the special summon ability, because that could have gone way handy in some of my games. Just saying. But, you know, you live and you learn new tricks every day. So, that's just probably one of my little faux pas, like in Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is nothing pretty much new. Okay. But yeah, so there's a 3 of right there. Next, I'm only playing 2 copies of Bird Strike because I'm looking for 1 more. But right now, this deck is currently meant to be played, or not this deck. Okay, let me rephrase it before I go even further. This card right here is meant to be played at 3, but I think you can do fine with just 2. The reason why I say 2 is because, you know, you want to put more room and more other option cards in your deck, rather than just have, like, just some stuff clutter that you probably don't really need. And Bird Strike is basically like the new Dark Ruler no more, essentially. Let me read this effect because I just got this tonight. Guys, sound like Russian. If you control a lyrical monster, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. And to the end of this turn, you can only activate one more turn. So, okay. So I gotta read that card. I had to read that card very carefully though because I could have fucked up. I haven't put this card in yet until tonight, so thank God for that. But Bird Strike to me, it was similar to a Dark Ruler no more, only except it only affects the monsters that are currently on the field. So if your opponent summons a new one, that means no shit for me. So that's just gonna be a little slight problem, but that's what I'm saying. 3 of maybe a little bit too much, 2's probably just better. I don't know. For me, personally, 2's just fine. And then also, we're playing 2 copies of Lyrical Bird Sanctuary. So we're going to play a lot of bird stuff here. So this card here is one of my personal favorites. Just because if you control 2 XC Lyrical monsters, you can select one of them, and you can, let me rephrase that. You can attach that lyrical XE monster to the current XE monster. So it'll gain more of its overlay units and it's more of its glory. And yes, I'm saying glory because this deck needs to hear the word glory for a change. And also, if your transfer overlay units contains 3 cards, 3 overlay units, 3 or more, you can draw 1 free card from your deck. And you can only do this once per turn. Okay? That's a serious understandable. So, there you go. Now for the little support that we have generically currently. I'm playing the 2 copies of Wing Requital. And Requital, this is one of the most popular Wing Beast type cards. You can splash this in with Harpies, Ray Raptors, Black Wings, even though I fucking hate that deck so much. Still counts, and Raptors, and I think Floodbirds? I don't know what they're called. The new art type for Flood. Flood Swans, or, you know, one of those random shit kind of thing, I guess. Anyways, Wing Requital, its skill is, if all monsters you control are Wing Beast type monsters, and you control at least 2 monsters with different original names, pay 600 life points, and draw 2 cards. So with Lyrical, it's not a bad thing. You can still play it like that. And you get 2 more cards in your hand too. So, there you go. Next, Harpie Featherduster, Monster Reborn, and of course, we're playing 2 copies of Polymerizations, because we're also playing the Fusion Lyrical Monster in here too. And guys, I just need to say this right now. I know people really hate that monster with a fiery passion, but it is still technically count as a lyrical monster, and it's still a good card for some of us who really like it. So, sucks to suck. I'm sorry you lost to it, but that's not our problem. We don't take responsibility for your own actions. Sorry. Yeah, so anyways, that is my spell lineup. And yeah, I'm going to try to practice for this tonight, so I don't completely fuck it up. Alright, and then traps. We're playing 3 copies of Lyrical Luscinia Phantom Feathers. This card to me helped me out sometimes to a certain degree. But its skill is target 1 lyrical monster you control. The attack of all monsters your opponent controls becomes that monster's current attack. Also, the level is changed, becomes 1. When an opponent's monster declares an attack on your lyrical monsters, you can banish this card from your from your graveyard, your monster's attack become monster's attack. And see in a turn. So it's also like a reversal switch too. Now personally this will actually work pretty better because all those attack points would have been gone. And with Ragna 0 on the field, or Ragna Infinity, that would have been like, bye-bye. But unfortunately we're not playing those two in this deck, so that's the Ensemblue. Sad thing is. Next, play 3 Harpies Feather Storms to negate your monster's shit. Or negate your opponent's shit. There you go. If you control a Winged Beast type monster in the field, negate all your monster's effects, all your opponent's monster's effects until the end of turn. Also, if this card is destroyed while it's set, you can add 1 Harpie Feather Storm from your deck or graveyard back to your hand. Simple as that. Then we're playing 2 for extra protection. Story Mirror Forces, Magic Cylinders, and 2 Gravedigger's Trap Holes, because why the fuck not? Let's cause some damage and negate your shit again. That's just me. Because there's nothing I like more than to follow Trickstar's and Marince's ideal on burn damage. So a little burn damage does not hurt in the slightest, darling. Here, let me take off my glove. Finally, for the extra deck, we're playing 3 copies of Assembled Nightingale, one of the most personal favorites of mine, due to the fact of its ability. This monster's attack becomes the number of materials that has been used by 200, and it also can attack you directly. That's just a built-in ability. And also, once per turn, when an opponent's monster attacks Assembled Nightingale, or activates an effects, or when you attack or something, or whatever. Yeah. So anyways, you can detach the material from this card, and your lyrical monsters are protected by card effects and by cabbage by battle. And also, it gains 200 attack points for every material it's been used. So there you go. Next, I'm playing 2 Recital Starlings. I think this one's my secondary favorite. Not because of its just beautiful design, but it's also because once per turn you can detach 1 material from this card, and you can add 1 level 1 Winged Beast type monster from your deck to your hand. And I think there's still more in here. Let me just read this. Yes. All battle damage you taken from battles involving this XYZ monster is also inflicted to your opponents. So she herself has a built-in Amazon Swordswoman skill. So like Amazon Swordswoman's ability is when she's destroyed and you allegedly take damage, your opponent takes damage too. Except for Swordswoman, your opponent takes all the damage, even though it was destroyed. So if I take damage, your opponent gets that way too. Next, I'm playing 2 Ensemblue Robins, and normally I've tried to play that 3 to the best of my ability. And then gains 500 attack for each material attached to it. If your opponent special summons a monster except during that damage them, you can detach 1 material from this card. Then gain 1 of those special monsters, return to or target 1 of those special monsters, return to your hand. If this card is in your possession and sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 other lyrical monster in your graveyard and add to your hand. So then it gets you a Sparrow or Swallow, or Canary. Then we got Promenade Thrush. This one's just basically once per turn, detach material. Target 1 spell and trap card your opponent controls and put it to the bottom of your deck or destroy it. Or return it, so yeah. And then we'll play 1 Sky Thunder AA-Zeus. 2 copies of Independent Nightingale. 1 Doom Eagle. 1 Greatfly. And 1 Apollousa, because why the hell not? So, yeah. That alone right there is my deck profile for the current Lyrical Luscinia build. I hope you guys enjoyed this video very much. I'm sorry if I rushed a little too much. I didn't realize that it was almost like up. My video is almost up. So, anyways, you guys, I hope you guys liked this video very much. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys.